All right, everybody. Hope everyone is doing well. It is webinar time. Glad to be with everyone here today. We'll begin momentarily. I think this is webinar 135. I love to see those triple-digit numbers for the webinars. Want to say hi to a few familiar names and faces out there and some newbies here. Welcome to the webinar. Jay, good to see you. Our good friend Jeremiah is here. Colette, Debbie, Kyle, nice to see you again in the webinar as well. Our all-star Ryan Sullivan, always great to see you in the webinars with us. Also want to say hi to some of our friends across the seas. Lindsay, great to see you here from the UK. Jeff from Australia, nice to see you in the webinar as well. And again, a lot of new names here. Leo and Laura, good to see you. And Dudley, you've been with us for a while. Great to see you in the webinar as well. All right, friends and family, let's dive right into it. Welcome to Webinar Wednesday. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. I am Jason there on the left, and we are lucky to be joined by David Rockland, the digital strategist, and so much more here at Brilliant Directories. David, thanks for taking the time to join us on this webinar.
Hey everybody, glad to be back with you for another webinar. We've got a great new long-awaited feature to share with everybody, so really looking forward to our tip of the week this week.
Fantastic. Yeah, it's going to be a good tip. And yeah, we have a new feature release to unveil today. It's been a long time coming, so excited to share that one with everyone. Also, David has rigged up for us to be streaming on our YouTube channel. We always encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's a great way to catch up on our newest training and tutorials. As well as catching the webinars. If you can't log into GoToWebinar, you can watch the YouTube live event that we have. Also want to mention to join the Brilliant Directories Facebook group. Tons and tons of constructive conversations there. People asking questions on how to improve their membership websites or online directories. I'm in there as well. A lot of how-to questions, a lot of strategy questions. It's a great way to keep in touch in between webinar Wednesdays. So if you're not already part of our free Facebook group, why don't you go ahead and take a moment right now? You can go to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook and join us by clicking on the blue button in the group. And we'll keep things moving here. I do see many new names and faces. Esther, there you go. You logged in there. Great to see you. A lot of new names and faces here. So if this is your first time joining a Webinar Wednesdays, welcome. It's really a great way for us to share some of the newer features we build into the platform week after week. A lot of them are from your suggestions in the Facebook group or emailing our support team if you find or notice something that can be fixed or improved. So thank you so much to you guys in the community. But we try to cover topics on some of those newer features that can help you increase traffic, converting your visitors into paid members or subscribers. One of my favorite topics are ways to improve your website's navigation and workflows for your visitors and your members. So if you have any questions on these topics or really anything about your membership website, please save them. We'll try to get to as many as we can just a little bit later in the webinar. All right, and one of my favorite parts of the webinars, we have a ton of BD Lab updates to share and a few cool things that are coming soon. I'll breeze through this list since there is quite a few of them, and we'll start there right at the top. There's now a bulk select option for your form inquiries. So if you're trying to delete or archive a bunch of form inquiries, and I'll show you where this is, you can now select all matches rather than having to go page by page. So this is a good quality of life update, and I will show you exactly where that is. And before I go to the forms inquiries page, let me show you where this feature already existed. On the search members page in the admin, I'll go ahead and open a tab here. So we have like bulk actions here. So if you do a search, maybe you want to search for, someone who's part of the same top level category. But when you select all of these, there is an option to select all the results that match, not just the results that are on this specific page. You can see there's multiple pages here of members. So this is really convenient because you can do the bulk action for anyone who matches the search criteria that you entered here. So we've brought this same logic to the forms inbox page of your admin area. So in the forms inbox area, we don't have many inquiries on this webinar demo site. However, If you do a select all, maybe you're searching for an IP address and you do a search and there's like tons of pages of this IP address and you just want to archive or delete them. You can use the select all checkbox here and then you'll get this nifty, let me zoom in here a little bit, this nifty option here. So in this case, it's 5 results. However, it could be 500 results. And then it would apply the same bulk action that you select here. In this case, it's archive or delete. In the coming weeks, we're also going to be adding this like super bulk action for a few other places in the member leads and the member reviews, and really anywhere we can find that has bulk action options. We'll be adding it here. It's not here right now. We can see when I check all for member leads, we don't see that, select all results option, as well as for member reviews. So we'll be rolling this out over the coming weeks and months, and hopefully we'll catch all the places where bulk actions exist, and this should improve your ability to manage your site a bit better. All right, there is an update to forms in the Facebook group. A couple people were asking how to make one of their fields a read-only field. If you don't know what it is, don't worry, but we now have a class that you can add to your form fields to make them behave as a read-only field. So let me show you an example of that and where that is. I know a few people in the Facebook group have been asking for that. So let me go to the form manager here. And I've added a read-only field to our sample ebook download form. So let me go here and edit this. And I think I made the enter name field a read-only field just as an example. So if you want to make a field read-only, you just toggle open the settings cog here. And in the additional CSS classes, just go ahead and type read-only. And I'll show you what that looks like on the front end of the website. There are some use cases that you'd want to do this, and you don't want members to be able to input something, but you want the value to be displayed there. And let me show you what that looks like on the front end. I've added this to the ebook sign-up page we have on this demo site. Let me search for book and a new ebook. Okay, great. So this was a sample, like get our ebook form that I made, and we can see here now the enter name field is a read-only field. Sometimes you'll have this as default text or text that they entered the first time they signed up, and you don't want them to change later. It could be their email address or something that's more permanent. But then of course the fields that are not read-only will behave as they normally do. So that is working there. So just to recap, you can add the class read-only to the additional field CSS class if you need a read-only field. Okay, and webhooks. Webhooks have been a big thing the last 6 months or so with BD. When we release them, there are a few new webhooks. So you can send some of the data that's inputted into your BD site out to third-party solutions via Zapier or Pabbly or anywhere else that accepts webhook events. So now when there are post comments, you can create a webhook, and that post comment data will be sent out via the webhook. Also, when you're editing a member in that quick edit pop-up, you might change their name or their email address, and you want it to update a record that's connected to a webhook. That is now available as well. If you're not familiar with the webhooks, they're really cool. I'll actually share an article from our blog that kind of discusses the basics of webhooks and how to connect to Zapier and things like that. Yeah, so here was an example where we created a webhook that synced your Brilliant Directories data with MailChimp, for example. It's really easy to do if you just follow the steps, but the same logic would follow for the things now like post comments and the quick edits in the members. Let me share that link in the chat. And then last thing I want to share about the webhooks is where you can access them in your admin area. So let's start on the dashboard page. This would be in your developer hub. And you'll have a link here called webhooks. I'll just open it in a new tab. I'd say this is intermediate level stuff. Once you get familiar with it, it becomes a lot easier. But if you are interested in porting or sending some of your BD data out to third-party solutions like MailChimp or another provider, there are unique webhook events for each type of action, like when a member review is submitted, your newsletter sign-up data, and so on. If we scroll down to the bottom here, we can see the post comments submitted here. All right, this is not necessarily an update, but just a little bit of news. Also in the Facebook group, a lot of users have been asking how to create AMP pages. They're like extra super mobile friendly pages for their websites. And we've partnered with Amplify. They create AMP pages, and they've created a beta integration for Brilliant Directories websites. Really cool company. So we've added them into the marketplace to promote their AMP pages, and they are soon going to be taking beta users if you want to create AMP pages for your Brilliant Directories website. They are going to be our guest in the next webinar and kind of explain how these AMP pages work, and which, not every site needs them, but what type of sites or use cases would want to enable AMP pages, like extra super friendly mobile pages for their websites. So we'll have them as a guest in the next webinar in 2 weeks, and they can kind of explain to us some of the benefits, use cases, and more about the AMP solutions. All right, and the big news, the big reveal, we do have the new add-on officially released. If you're part of the VIP add-ons club, it's already been added to your website's account. We're gonna cover it in the next few slides on how you can use it, enable it on your forms, and also some of the use cases where you might want to use the file uploads field type for your form. So I'll save that for the next few slides. And also coming down the line, very exciting, if you're using the payment gateway Stripe, there will be a setting in your admin area where you can decide what the display name will be on your customer's credit card statements. If you want to make sure it shows up with your phone number or an extra long name or an extra short name on the customer's credit card statements, or just to avoid any confusion with whatever might be officially registered in your Stripe account, you'll be able to set the display name that actually displays on your customers' credit card statements when they're looking at their bills online or in when they receive it in the mail. Next one here, we've been working on some deliverability improvements to prevent some of your emails from landing in your members' spam or junk folders. So we're going to have some deliverability settings. It's going to be basically via a domain authentication. Most of you won't even need to do anything. It'll be automatically enabled on your site, depending on how you've connected your domain name to BD. But everyone will be able to take advantage of this, and hopefully it'll be coming probably mid next month or by the end of next month. We'll definitely keep the Facebook group updated upon its release. And we do have an API coming, a BD API. It's basically something we needed to create to allow you the ability to import feeds and data into your BD site, also via Zapier, Pabbly, or if you're familiar enough to use the API itself. We're going to be working on creating documentation for that, so it's really easy for everyone to understand. But this is going to really open up a lot of opportunities for your BD site. I know a lot of people have third-party feeds of members or leads or reviews that they want to port into their BD sites. So hopefully this will be coming out towards the end of next month as well. And also, we've mentioned this in the Facebook group, we're going to begin breaking ground on it. The ability to issue credits when existing members refer new member signups. It's also been very popular in the Facebook group, and we're going to start chipping away at this one in the coming weeks and hopefully have something also before the end of next month. Along with that, there's tons more coming very soon. What I'd like to do here at the end of the BD Lab updates, if you have a question about some of these updates or a comment, feel free to raise your hand and we can take a question or two before we move on to the file uploads add-on. All right, Kyle, there we go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, how's it going?
Going great. So my question on the credits. So if somebody's paying an automatic monthly payment that's set up for whatever amount, $40, and they bring in somebody new and I'm like, oh, thank you so much, here's a $10 credit. Does it change what they get charged every month to, or like, not every month, but use their credit first and then charge them the difference?
Yeah, so the credit will always be used first when a member is being automatically billed on a recurring charge like monthly or yearly, or when they're doing a one-time purchase for a lead or something like that. So you're correct. The credit will be used first, and then their credit card will be charged the difference.
Great. That was my only question as far as the stuff we've talked about right now. I do have other questions later.
I appreciate that. Thanks, Kyle. All right, good stuff there. And yeah, we're unveiling the new file uploads for forms add-on here today. It was released a couple days ago. And David's put together a few slides to kind of cover some of the use cases, some of the benefits, and what you can do with the file uploads form add-on. So if it's okay with you, David, may I pass it over?
Yeah, so it basically allows whether members or users, depending on the form, to upload and add files when they're submitting a form on the website. Even though it does seem like simple functionality, it really does have a lot of different use cases and can be a pretty powerful tool depending on what you're using it for. So first things first, figured we would go over the supported file types. This should cover virtually all use cases for this feature, but it will support all of the major image formats, so JPEGs, PNGs, GIFs, WebP, PDF files, as well as all Microsoft Office files, both the old file extensions as well as the newer file extensions. So for example, for Word, you have the older .docs as well as the newer docx's. So all of these Word, Excel, PowerPoint, PDFs, and images can be uploaded and attached to form submissions. And so going over which forms this can be enabled on and how you might want to use them. First one being the lead form. A lot of us are using this on the Get Matched page on the website. So if you add the file upload field to the Get Matched form, users will then be able to upload files to maybe provide additional information to support their quote request. So for example, if you have an interior design website and users are coming to your site to get connected with interior designers, and somebody wants to submit a quote request to find out how much their project might end up costing them, it might be beneficial if they attach a PDF of maybe like their floor plan or certain images that they want to pull inspiration from, things like that. So it could give your members a lot more information for what these specific website visitors and potential clients are looking for. The next one being the member contact form. Similar vein, but this would be most likely for users interested in contacting only specific members. So again, this could be, if you have a professionals directory, it could help give the members more information from the users depending on what kind of inquiry it is. The next one being the member verification form. This is actually a really powerful tool that you can enable member verification, kind of similar to like what Twitter does with the blue check marks or Facebook or YouTube even, but basically puts an additional form in the members dashboard that they can fill out, provide additional details to you, the website administrator, and based on those additional details that they're providing to you, you can then choose whether or not to verify their listing. And so in this, maybe you would want to have them upload, for example, maybe a photo ID or a business license or something else like that, that really can't be included in just like a text form field, but really does need to be a separate file that needs to be attached with the form submission. So this could really come in handy in that application. And then last one here, post-publishing forms. Files can actually now be attached to published posts. And when a post that has a file attached to it is published, there will be a download button so that users can access that file. So for example, if an event post has been published, maybe there's a meal or a drink voucher that users can download. So instead of just attaching that as an image to the post, you can attach that as like a PDF that they can download and print out or access on their phone. So a lot of different ways this can be utilized and ways that can really provide a lot of additional value to your members as well as just your general website users and visitors.
Yeah, I want to stick with that lead form one. When we started BD, before we started BD, we had our own directory. We had quite a few directories. Mainly was an interior designer directory to find designers, decorators, or architects, anywhere to help with updating homes and things like that. And the lead form was really popular. We had a lot of visitors filling out the lead form to get connected with the designer. And we even took the time to verify those leads. We'd call them, try to extract more information before we match them with the members so that the lead had good quality and value to ensure that the designers would want to purchase the lead. I can't tell you, I wish we had this file upload tool right now, because if the visitors could upload pictures of their spaces along when they fill out the lead form, the sell-through rate for a lead, we match them with, X amount of designers, and up to 3 designers can purchase a lead. The sell-through rate would be a lot more because there's more credibility with that lead. There's more authenticity, and they could see that it's a real request. They're not just taking a shot in the dark with someone who might just be clicking around and testing around the site. So I think the lead form is going to be a big use case for this. And also when there's job listings, if someone's posting a job opening and you can have the form where people can follow up with that job request. They can now upload their CV or resume when they're filling out the form, trying to apply for the job or just to send a message that they're interested in the job. So the member who posted the job opening can now receive resumes if you customize that get matched form and add an upload field for and call it like upload your resume. So a lot of use cases, and I think with that, David, we can dive into some of the examples we created, right?
Let's do that. It would also be good to address a question that was typed in on YouTube. They're wanting to know if there's any protection against possible viruses or things like that with the files that are uploaded and attached with form submissions.
That's a great question. The reason it took us so long to get this out, we were supposed to have this out 2 months ago, but we did a lot of QA, a lot of internal testing, just to make sure that everything was sound and utilizing best practices for uploading files around the internet and things like that on a public website. With that said, we're always checking, and we do have bug bounty programs and things like that. So if you see something, say something. We also have third-party bug bounty finders to find vulnerabilities and things like that. And as soon as something is reported to us, we prioritize it, and we always want to patch those things up as quickly as possible. So as far as best practices, we've found that everything seems to be sound. However, if you do notice something, or if one of our bug bounty hunters finds something, then we'll definitely prioritize those items and make sure we address them as quickly as possible.
Excellent. And one last thing, just to kind of put everybody's mind at ease who might be worried about something like this. Matt, co-founder and CTO here at Brilliant Directories, he also chimed in that we do have virus scanners on our systems, and those will detect and auto-delete any files if something does get passed onto those filters.
Yeah, and just by default, it is meant to just accept these file types. So unless someone finds a workaround or the things like that, we're going to try to address those things as quickly as possible. Okay, awesome. So let's go this page here, for example. Let's say this was that interior designer website as an example. So what we've done here is we've modified the get matched form. And let's say you want to send a message to this member, say John Doe interior designer, and you want to get a quote for remodeling your kitchen or whatever it might be. So you can input your information as normal. I'll go ahead and do that. We'll show you how we added these fields in a second, but let's use them first. That's more fun. So I'll put my name. But here's the magic part. So each of them is an individual file upload. So in this case, we've asked them to upload an image of a room. So you can hit choose image, and we have a sample room here. That's great. And then whatever it might be, upload to, let's say you needed a verification for your contractors or designers who are joining to show that they have a business license. You can always change the labels here and ask for whatever you want. So image of certificate. So, we have this here. And then I'll go ahead, and this is going to be a lead for this sample member. I'll go ahead and submit this. Okay, so the lead's been submitted. The members received an email that there's a lead pending for them and a preview of the lead, everything except their phone number and email, everything minus the contact information for the lead. I'm logged in as this member, so let me go to my lead section here. And I have some pending leads. So let's look at the one I just entered here in Van Nuys. So if I want to purchase this lead, it's $10. However, I do have some good information here. I see the person's name, their location, the message here was a short message in this case, and then I have uploads of their project. So I can see an image of their room. I'll open this in a new tab. So I can see, what they want to remodel. And you can have as many upload fields as you want. You probably don't want to overwhelm the user, but maybe 3 to 5, depending on the use case that you're using this for. And then we can see an image of the certificate. And we can see that here as a sample certificate. It might have been a business license or something that we wanted the user to upload. So we can see that here. Now let's look at how we added this to the get matched form. And this is going to be in the toolbox form manager. And it doesn't have to be the get match form. Maybe you have an application or a contest form on your site, or just the contact us form, and you want to allow people to upload files. You can add the file upload field to any of your forms. So in this case, for the get matched form, we customized the website lead form get matched. You can also clone it and change it and use it in different places for different post types. But what you can do is, let me just add a new field here, and it's right here. It's fancy field, it's file upload fields. and you can go ahead and add a file upload, but let's look at the ones that we already have. So I just used a quick filter here, real handy if you're working in your forms. So we have 2 file upload fields. One of them was upload 1, image of a room, upload 2, images of a certificate. And you can see the type of field we selected is this file upload field. It's under the fancy fields category here, file upload field. You can make it a required field if you need to. And you can also change the name of what it is. Like, let's just change it to upload your resume as an example. And we'll save the changes. And let's go back to the form and see that this has changed to upload your resume. Let's go back to this guy's profile. And we'll hit send a message. And here we can set, it says upload your resume. So you can really change whatever you want the visitor to upload in that moment. You can kind of guide them. You can also add some help text below if you need to as well. The way to add help text is here. So if you open up the cog here, you can have, here it is, field help text. In this case, we put attachment 1. So we can change this to something like upload your state business license. And I'll save the changes again. And let's take a look at this here. So we can see here the help text says upload your state business license, and they can choose a file. Maybe they have it in PDF or image format. The file upload field will accept it. So this is one way to utilize the file uploads. The other one, as David mentioned, if we go back here, was the member verification form. So a lot of people have enabled this on their site, and I'm going to share the help document. If you want members to be able to verify themselves so they get the badge next to their name and on their profile page, you have to enable it as an advanced setting. There's a picture of it here. So by default, we've always just asked the member to input plain text information, their name, their email address, and to just fill out the form of why they should be verified. Now they can actually upload a formal piece of documentation on, again, like their business license or something related to being verified for their industry and on your website. It could be as simple as an ID, like their driver's license, just to verify that they are who they say they are with their listing. And actually, let's look at again first what this would look like in their dashboard. So they're in their dashboard, and there is a verify your listing option here when you enable the advanced setting. And you can change all this text. It basically says, verify your identity, and you can change the image of what the badge is in your brand images in general settings. But by default, we would just ask them for some, their state license number, and they would just put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now you can ask them to upload whatever type of file they need to upload for you to verify them. So let's go ahead and fill this out. So I can upload a photo ID. I have a sample photo ID here. And verification details, please verify me. Okay. So this is just like a contact us form. The website owner will get an email notification when somebody fills out this form, just like their contact us form. And all this data will be included, including a link to the file that was uploaded. But let's click on verify business. So they're not verified yet. Someone has to manually look at what they entered and things like that. And that's where you, the website owner, would get pinged. And if we go to our forms inbox here, that's where the message is going to be sent, just like a contact us form message. We can see here that someone has filled out the verify business form, and we can look at the full inquiry here of what I filled out or what the person filled out. So we see their first name is Jason, their email address, the state license number, tax exemption number, and here it is, the photo ID. So you can click to view the file. Here's that funny message, verify me, and I'll click this, and I can look at this and everything looks good. It's a valid ID, they can't spoof it. So what I can do if I want to verify them in this case is I can go ahead to their, I can click the link to their name, member ID, and this is kind of their detail page within the admin. And we can use the quick edit pop-up and change their listing status to verified is yes. And that's going to put the badge on their profile page and within the search results as well. Again, this is just one use case if you need to extract more information when they're verifying their account. And let's go to the form where we added this. So in the form manager, the form manager here, we have the listing verify account form. That's also a default form that you can customize and add the file upload field. So we can see here, this is a copy of what I saw within my member dashboard. And if you want to just quickly get to the upload field, or you need to add a field, you can always add a field and choose file upload field. And I'll just search for the one that we already added. Filter for upload. So here it is. We asked them for a photo ID. We can ask for a state license certificate or whatever it might be, and it will change what you're asking for here. So pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Each one is for a single file upload. So maybe you need to have a couple of them on the page, but now you'll receive the file uploads with the leads in the forms inbox. When you receive email notifications, when there's new forms filled out on your site and you get notification emails, the file uploads files will be included there as well. Okay, great. Well, hopefully we'll see how the community uses this in the Facebook group. I'm sure questions will come up. We'll see some really unique use cases with this, but I'm really happy that we were able to deliver it. And again, if you have the VIP add-ons club, you have this field type in your form manager now, so you can customize your forms and you can add file upload fields to those forms. What we can do now is take some questions from you guys, and we'll start calling on some of our friends here. We'll start with Suzanne. How are you today?
I'm great, thank you. This is my first time here with you, so it's been very helpful. My question relates to the confidential documents that one might upload into the platform. Once they've been verified, is it best practices to then delete those documents so that they will have some confidence that their personal information is not in our portal?
Absolutely, and let me see if there's a method for that right now. Give me a moment. Let me go to the media manager, and you bring up a really valid point. Let me see if there is a folder here. There is not a folder here for those items that were uploaded, but I'm gonna make a note here for the team so you can go and you can then go ahead and delete the file that was uploaded associated with that inquiry. Okay, thank you for that suggestion. That's valid and that's important. Any other questions related to that? Okay.
I don't have any. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And we got Tim here. How you doing, Tim?
Hey, Jason, how's it going?
Good, good. Good to hear from you. Thanks for joining the webinar.
Hey, great stuff on this, on the upload field. That's perfect. I have two relatively quick questions, but they're not on that subject. Is that okay?
That's perfectly fine. Any questions are game right now.
Okay, cool. So I've been really intrigued lately about CSS classes that we can use in our menus and in our forms. I'm just wondering, is there a tutorial or a place where there's a list of CSS classes that we could start experimenting and playing with?
So there's like thousands of CSS classes applied to the BD site. Maybe is there something specific you're looking to do that maybe we can tackle that right now? Maybe creating a button or making something larger.
To highlight, you know, say in a form when we have we put in, you know, additional details, and in the form, you know, we fill in, you know, whatever it is and have it show up as a button, for instance, on the front end.
You know, that one keeps coming. Well, you're talking about when it's a website address?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Or even like a highlighted, like a red background, say, behind you know, behind the text.
On the display view.
Yeah, on the display view, exactly.
Got you. Yeah, the CSS classes are default for the input view because they're going to display how they display on the front end. You could do a custom HTML, but we want to avoid that. You don't have to avoid it, but you can then make it however you want. But the one that you're mentioning, the ability to display a button from a form on public view, that keeps coming up. I'll explore that and see if there's, I think we recently released the ability to have alternate label text on the front end. So if you ask a question on the input view, like what's your hair color? And then on the public view, it says my hair color is. Yeah, maybe we can do something with the CSS classes for what's being rendered because I see value in that as well. CS classes on public view items in Form Manager. That'll give you a bit more control over the public display of some of the data when you're showing that stuff on a profile page or in the sidebar or something.
Okay, that would be cool. Yeah, the new display titles are great. I'm
Right?
using them,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, those are
agree.
like awesome. So, you know, like for instance, on one of the forums, like you taught me how to say display equals none and things like that, and the inline attributes. That's just like regular old CSS, right? So could we pop in anything there?
You can pop in anything there. Those would be inline styles that you can attribute to. You're talking about the menu manager now, right?
Correct. Sorry,
yeah.
went back to the menu.
Yeah, menu manager is a bit more direct because it's just a menu item. It doesn't have the different views like input view, display view, and so on. But that one's a lot easier to add the CSS classes. But I'll tell you what, if you're looking to achieve something specific, the list would be just too long for all the available CSS classes. But if you're looking for some go-to ones like how to make something bold or enlarge or add a background color, there's definitely some quick things that we can share with you with that. Let me show you one. Let me show you one real quick that I think will be high value for everyone on this webinar here. So let's look at the main menu on this site. This is a good topic actually. Let's take a look at the main menu on our webinar demo site. Let's say we wanted the join today to be a different color, so it stands out a bit in the main menu. Let's go to the menu manager. And I actually just answered a question for this in the Facebook group. Let me customize the main menu on this site. So here's the join today link here. And if we toggle open the settings drop down, you can add a CSS class. So here's a cool one that you can do. If you do BG for background, and then in your design settings, you have button colors that are like your primary, danger, warning, success. Those are the names of the button colors. So you can do something like background danger, and I would add that to the menu item CSS and the outer LI CSS, and I'll go ahead and save the changes. So you could do BG- primary default. I'll put a list for you. And if we go here now and refresh this, we can see now the join today button is red. That BG danger is associated to, and I'll show you in the design settings. So if you're wondering the BG- what can you enter, you have button colors and you have primary, success, info, warning. There's about 6 of them here. So you could do BG- success, etc. warning, and it would change the background of this element here. So that's a quick trick I can show you there. I'll just pop this in here, the main menu. I'll just put this settings and I'll put this BG danger in the chat, so you can just paste that if you need to use it on your site. But feel free to post in the Facebook group, Tim, some ideas that you have, and there's probably a quick CSS class to achieve something you're looking to do.
Okay, and there's no place that we can poke around in the back end and sort of find what those classes might be, just to experiment with them. And
I'm trying to, there's just so many of them. I know what you're saying, like a quick cheat sheet. Let me see. I think we have something in the Solution Center, but let's say a cheat sheet for common menu CSS classes. I'll talk to the documentation team and see if we can at least get a list started. I think that would be super helpful.
That'd be great. Just, even like 20 of them, just to kind of get us started and go, okay, these are things that we can keep in mind. Then we can know what, sort of a little bit better about what we can ask in the Facebook group.
I love it. I could think of 20 off the top of my head, so that's definitely doable. So thank you for that.
Cool. Just one last little question, if I could. You'll say yes or no to this. Is it possible to put reviews on products or blog posts, instead of just on the members?
So it's a little bit down on the priority list, but with the post comments that we have, the community comments, we're going to have a setting where if you enable comments on, for example, products, it can be a comment with a star rating. So you'll be able, when you want to create a comment, you're basically in effect leaving a review, because you can associate a 1 through 5 star rating and then leave your comment. So that's like our quick workaround, our quick roadmap to getting reviews for post types like products or blogs, and letting people review that. So it's a little bit down the list. I think we'll get to it before the end of this year, but that is on the roadmap for us.
Oh, okay, awesome, awesome. Well, listen, thanks so much. Appreciate all the work you guys put in.
Thank you, thank you. We love the community and all the feedback that you guys provide. It's tons of fun for us, so thank you. All right, let's move on to, we have Colette. How you doing, Colette?
Hi, Jason. Very well, thank you. And you?
We are doing awesome here. Thanks for joining the webinar.
Great. I'm very excited about the file upload, and I would like to use that for job applications. I'm just trying to think of how that would work in terms of if a member has posted a job listing, what would be the easiest way for somebody to press like an apply now button and go to a form that gets sent to that member, to that business?
Okay, so for this, you're going to want to clone your get matched form and then use the specialized get matched form on the jobs post page. So on your jobs post, you would use the specialized get matched form, and then the message will be sent to the member. So I was talking with David about this before the webinar. It was questionable if we wanted to cover this on the webinar, because right now it would require 4 or 5 steps, but I can outline those steps for you real quick if you want to know the quickest path to achieve that.
Yes, please.
Okay, so number 1 is clone the get matched form and make it how you want. Make it for jobs, right? Just remove any fields you don't need and add the file upload where the user can upload their resume. Now that we have the clone get matched form, we want to be able to render it or display it on jobs detail pages. So what you want to do is create a custom widget, and in the custom widget, just put form equals new get matched form. So now we have a widget, and that widget is designed to simply render your new get matched form. Excuse my spelling here, I'm just going quick. Number 3 is we need to drop this widget in a sidebar, and the sidebar will be a clone sidebar just for the get matched for. So you want to clone your post detail page sidebar and include anything you want in there, but make sure you include your new custom widget. A lot of this is just point and click. It really isn't a lot of coding. Just create the custom widget with the form equals. And then number 4 is on your jobs post type, what you want to do is select the new sidebar you just created. And so let me quickly show you where that would be. Let's say you created the form, you created the widget, and now you want to put that widget in a sidebar. You'd go to the sidebar manager, and you have, excuse me, it's post single page. So you would clone this, and here's the copy of post single page. Let's give it a new name. Let's give it a new nickname. We'll call it jobs sidebar, and we'll save the changes. And in this sidebar is where you want to put your get matched form, the new get matched form with the widget for the jobs. And then the last thing, so now you have the new sidebars, we need to put the sidebar for the post type. I know I'm going quick here, but maybe you can catch it on the replay, some of these notes here. So now we're in edit post settings. Let's look for jobs. And this is why I didn't cover it in the tip of the week with the file, but it does kind of warrant its own segment. In the detail page design for your jobs, the sidebar to use, we now want to select the new jobs sidebar. And that job sidebar will have your get matched form that's specifically geared for jobs application submissions, and it will display on the job listings that your members are posting, the job openings. So that was a mouthful, but
that's good. That should keep me going for a while.
Yeah, clone the get matched form for the jobs, create a widget, put form equals the new whatever nickname you gave the get matched form, clone the post details page sidebar, we did that right now, and then move your new custom widget into that thing, and then on the jobs post type, select the sidebar to use on the detail page.
Awesome. Thanks
All right.
very much, Jason.
All right. And if you need help, post it in the Facebook group. We'll follow up with you there.
Perfect.
Great. Thank you, Colette. Always great questions. And our good friend Jeff here.
Good morning.
There we go. Good morning, Jeff, from Australia, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining.
It's early morning here. My question is, with leads, I don't know whether I've got it set up wrong, but we don't get a record in the statistics for leads for a particular client. Is that something that's not there, or?
You don't get a statistic? Did I hear that right?
Yeah, so we get a number of views, phone, website views, and stuff like that, but there's nothing for leads.
You mean how many leads an individual member has received?
Correct.
Okay, that would be, let me see here, just a moment. There should be a tab here. Yeah, here's leads activity, pending, total leads, and reviews. I think there's a way to search the member. Okay, you bring up a good point. Because that's on the match page. Okay, there is a method here. You can see their lead activity. However, if you could click on this and see all the leads they've been matched with and more, that would be what you're looking for. Okay, that is definitely a valid request there. So method to view the leads matched.
It's a good metric to help report to clients what they're getting.
Right. This is showing leads pending, but because they haven't accepted any leads, but at least for now, this is the lead activity. It would show how many leads they've accepted as well. So this is, I know it's a little hidden here, but a method to view the leads matched per member. Okay, thank you for that.
All right, thank you.
All right, good stuff there. Randy, I see a new name here. Looks like you're self-muted, Randy.
Hey, Jason, can you hear me?
I can hear you. How are you? It seems like a new name here in the webinar. Is this your first one, or you've been with us before?
Yeah, I believe it's my first one.
Okay, well, welcome.
Well, thank you very much. You guys' support is just absolutely fabulous.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I have two questions. One is on the dashboard. Is there a way for us to include, other than just inquiries, leads, reviews, posts, and past due, to add other items? My website, which I'm just launching, actually live yesterday, I have two types of members. Free members that still have to produce licensing credentials to me to approve before I activate their account. And then the other type of members are paid service advisors to advertise. So there's search members that are free, advertising members that are paid. Rather than getting all the emails every day saying, hey, somebody just registered, signed up, is there a way to have a tabbed count on that pending items table on the dashboard, on our dashboard, the admin dashboard, that shows, hey, there's two people that submitted a sign up form that you need to go approve, rather than just me seeing that by emails?
So yeah, right here, these pending items.
Yes.
So you're saying pending members that require moderation is missing from this list?
Absolutely, yes, exactly. Because it's great to see when a review comes in, since I moderate all reviews also, it tells me 1 or 2 or 3 reviews are waiting your approval. Since I have to approve all of my members prior to publishing their profile, I wonder if there's a way for me to know that on this pending items table.
Gotcha. If it's not there, it's because it's showing the items with 0 things to do.
Right.
So I think what we can do is I'll recommend this to the team: pending items list on dashboard homepage, show pending members.
Yes.
Okay, that's a valid request. I'll bring that up to the team and see what we can do about that.
Awesome. And one other quick question, if you have time.
Yeah, sure.
I've already submitted a ticket today on this, but I just want to clarify in my own mind, when you're on a member's profile page and the tab or the button that says contact or message this member, is that a direct lead contact, or is it just a contact form that goes to them and says, hey, this person are asking you these questions?
It's a fantastic question. That is considered and classified as a direct lead.
It is, good.
Yes, so the direct lead, now you can choose based on their membership plan if they still need to pay for that lead to get the full submission information, like their name and phone number, or for direct leads, you might want to just give it to them for free, and all they have to do is go view the lead information in their member dashboard.
Which is what I do. Yeah.
So an indirect lead is, let's say you create a landing page saying like, get quotes from our interior designers, and they fill out the form and they input like a kitchen remodel in Los Angeles.
Gotcha.
That will then get auto matched with all the members who meet the criteria of kitchen remodel in Los Angeles. And that is an indirect lead because it's from a landing page. It's not directly from their profile page.
That's excellent. That really explains it for me. And does the same thing apply when there's a sidebar on the vendor, on the members profile page, the paid members? I have a sidebar with a contact this person also. Is that it considered a direct contact lead or an indirect one?
Another good question. So if it's on their profile page and it's in the sidebar, because it's on their profile page, it's still a direct lead. As well as let's say a member publishes, I don't know, like a coupon or an event on the site, and you also have the contact member form in the sidebar. Because that member created that post, it's also a direct lead because it's from an asset they created on your website. It's from a page that they created on your website.
Do you know offhand, Jason, the form name that is used as the default for both of those buttons, those sidebar, contact, and the message me button on the profile page?
Yeah, so that's the one we've been editing throughout the webinar. I'll show you right now. I'll put it in the thing. You're going to want to customize this one if you're going to customize it, but it's the website lead form get matched. And all the sites start off with one. However, as I was explaining to Colette, there are methods. That one was a little complicated, but there are methods to clone it and utilize different matched forms for different members and things like that.
Well, that's great, and I really appreciate everything you guys do. It's great.
Likewise, thank you, Randy. Thanks for the questions. Oops, cut you off there, but thank you, Randy, for those questions. All right, let's see here. We got Steven. We'll take Steven here. How you doing today?
Hi, how you doing, Jason? Yeah, so I have two quick questions, and I guess suggestions as well. I guess the first one is, do you have cloning widgets on the roadmap at all? Because I copy a lot of widgets and I have to go through every step just to copy it. It'd be easier if I can clone it.
We'll add that. I'll recommend it to the team. That's the last thing in the toolbox that doesn't have a clone option, clone with widget option. And it'll make a copy of your widget with a different name, of course, like a copy of. Okay. We'll add that to the roadmap. It's come up a few times. Thank you.
Great. And the second question I have is, a few months ago, there was an update where service areas were added to the profile, so it was visible on the profile. And then you had mentioned that somewhere down the road for phase 2, it would be visible in a directory listing. Does that make sense to you? So if you have a listing of someone in a directory that says their address is in Florida, but they also service California, that will show up as well maybe in a smaller font or something.
Yes. Let me show you what that is going to look like. It is on the roadmap. It's a little behind on some things.
Okay.
But yeah, so if somebody's main address is in Los Angeles, but they also service Florida, when you do a search for Florida, they're going to show up in those results. But right now, you don't know why someone in Los Angeles is showing up in Florida results.
Exactly.
This is what it's going to look like. So this is a result, for example, Nuevo Mexico, Jalisco. This guy is located in France, if you look here. He serves, it's going to say within 1 kilometer of Nuevo Mexico. So it's going to show you why they're showing in the results here. So that's going to be our workaround for members who have other service areas, why they're showing up for results that are not their main address.
Isn't that already there? Isn't that like within 1 mile or whatever, within 10 miles? No?
The within 1 mile is, but not the location, the service area that triggered the match. So
I see.
What it's going to show is the service area the additional service area that triggered them to show in this location search results.
Got it. So what happens though if it's multiple service areas? So let's say this person WW, whatever the name is, they live in France, but they service California, New York, Mississippi, and Colorado. Will all 4 of those show up as well, or?
So The location search is for one location at a time, obviously you're going to search, but on their profile page, that's what exists right now, is you can see all the additional service areas that they serve. So if you want to show that on their profile page right now, you can do that. Let me show you where that is. So like on membership plan 1, just give me one moment here. So on their profile page, in the overview tab, you can have the list service areas, and you can choose what position you want it, and it'll list all their locations, California, Florida, wherever they service in the world. So that can display on their personal profile page now, and we're working on the search results page to show why they're showing up for a certain search for a certain location based on the service areas they've selected.
Got it. Makes sense. I got it with you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Yeah, for sure. I'm glad you asked that question. It makes me feel good that we're doing that update. So thank you.
No, you guys are doing a great job. No complaints. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, good question there by Stephen. All right, let's go. I think Robert here. How you doing, Robert?
Hi. Yeah, you mentioned sending out leads. Like, is there a maximum? Can you set a maximum amount of members that can receive leads so they're like not all competing with each other? Maybe like 3 or 4 just competing with each other rather than.
Absolutely. So that's a good question too. Yeah, you can do that. So you go to member leads. And if you go to, let me check here first in your general settings. So the maximum matches, like the auto matches, you can set it to 5. So it'll match it with the first 5 best matches based on location and category, and the maximum accepted leads. So let's say you were matching it with 500 members. If 500 members even met the criteria for the location and category, only the first 5 people could purchase the lead. So 1,000 people are not contacting a single inquiry. 3 or 4 or 5 seems to be a magic number. Sometimes you want the customer to get some options of people following up with them, but you don't want to overwhelm them too much.
Right.
And you don't want to create too much internal competition between your members who are spending money on the leads as well.
True.
You want to give them a fair shot to land the customer.
Okay. All right. Great.
Okay. So that was, just to recap, that was in your member leads and your general settings here.
Member leads and general. I'll go there.
Okay.
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 All
thank
right.
you, Rob. Good stuff. Glad we could help you out there.
Thanks.
Welcome. All right. All right, guys, we're just about over time here. If we didn't get to your questions, please go ahead and ask them in the Facebook group. Really excited about the file uploads for forms add-on and see how everyone uses this one. Again, you can go to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook and we can continue the conversations there. And again, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, brilliantdirectories.com/YouTube. Guys, the next webinar is actually, we're gonna have different time for the next webinar. It's gonna be in 2 weeks. We're gonna do 10:30 a.m. Pacific time because we have our special guest from Amplify. We're trying to accommodate the time zones here. So we will post some reminder emails and things like that, but the next webinar will be at a different time, 10:30 a.m. Pacific time, and we'll send out reminder emails. I believe that's going to be May 11th. So again, it's been a great, super fun webinar. Thanks everyone for joining us. On behalf of myself, David, and the entire Brilliant Directories family, thank you guys so much. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a great day and a brilliant week. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.